And we're live. Perfect. All right. Who can see me? Just checking the comment section. We got Caleb here, Chad here, Joseph here, Patrick. We're live. Perfect. All right. And me playing. There we go. All right. So because this is the super secret after hours stream, it's Andy, the puppy. This is my parents' new dog. He is a Labradoodle, I think, with a little more doodle, and he is just the sweetest thing on earth. He's really nappy right now, though, so I might. Yeah, he's just gonna fall asleep on my lap during this stream. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining the After Hours stream. I unfortunately didn't bring any drinks other than my same sparkling water. But I hope you're in pajamas and ready to just talk about whatever. All right, cute dog, doggo. Welcome back. All right, let's start with the questions. What do you guys want to know? I literally just upgraded to $40 right now. Well, thank you so much, Michael. More creative reward stuff constantly as this goes. It's only been 2 months into this Patreon thing, so I'm getting used to it all. And thank you for upgrading. Just for an extra hour of streaming, that's awesome. And for Doggo, of course. In PJs, drinking whiskey and smoking a cigar. I'm extremely jealous right now. Where I am, it's so hot. I don't know if you saw me. If you go to the last stream video and you click from the beginning of the stream to the end of the stream, you can see me progressively getting more and more sweaty. That's why I needed like a 5-minute break just to try and cool off. Whew, poor Doggo is probably pretty warm too. Are you? Hey Lauren, will either of these streams wind up on YouTube after the fact, or will they be deleted after the fact? I ask for instances where you invite folks on. They will be. Oh. All right, honey, let's go down here. I'm going to leave them on YouTube after the fact, unless you guys. Maybe the one where I invite people to play games with me and stuff, I won't put on YouTube because I know a lot of people don't want to be publicly associated with me. They might get in trouble with their jobs or with school. So if you think it would be better to delete it after, figure out the details of all of this. He's chewing the computer cord. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, honey, go sleep, please. Do not. On live stream, Antifa Doggo here. Antifa. Would love to do hangouts where we could actually chat live. So that's. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't think Andy would be this much of a problem, but he keeps chewing the computer cords. All right, you have to stay on my lap, honey. Okay, so the issue with that, I was thinking of doing that, where I was going to invite people into the big live stream, and then someone mentioned, they're like, Lauren, we came here to see you talk, not to see other people talk. So I was thinking about that, and I decided I'm going to do a separate live stream where I kind of do gaming with people, and we can all just like actually hang out and talk in person. For these live streams, it'll just be me talking to you guys while you're in the chat. Antifa Andy, yeah, no kidding. But for on Tuesday, I'm going to do kind of a gaming thing where we can all just hang out and talk. The problem is, obviously, a lot of people are going to want to join, so I'm going to figure out the details of that soon. Because, yeah, no, it would be nice to actually in person on the chat. I just have to make sure it's all laid out perfectly, so some people don't feel disappointed because they just hear more people talking than me. Can you just keep them unlisted? Yes, I do. Every single one, like this Hedgehog Enthusiast After Hours stream, will be uploaded, but it'll be unlisted. All of this stuff will be. You guys are paying for it. Your patrons. It doesn't go to everyone. We might have to do separate days for tokens for the gaming streams. Or that's a good idea. I'm trying to think, because I'm also trying to think because obviously I've got some people that are donating, like you guys. You're donating in the $40 tier, and would it be fair for me to do private gaming streams with people in the $20 category, and not necessarily invite everyone from this one? So I have to figure out all the details to make sure it's fair for how much people are donating, and also everyone gets an opportunity to still talk to me. Luckily, I'm going to be home for the next few days and not, so I can figure out all these details and make sure everyone is happy and satisfied and we still get to hang out. Be for the $20 tier or the 40. I have to figure that out. Well, obviously, if I do the gaming one, it will be for the 40 first. I might want to do it with some people from the 20 as well, but obviously 40 will be prioritized because you guys are putting more of your faith in me and your money into what I'm doing, which is awesome. So you guys will be priority, of course. I'm going to send Andy. I'm sorry, he has to leave. He keeps chewing on all the cables, and this live stream is going to be shut down by Antifa Andy. So say goodbye to Antifa Andy. I'll just be gone 2 seconds. Yeah, okay. Are you going to say bye? I won't be long. I'll be right back.
Why do you want to shut the live stream down, Andy? Why are you doing this?
Okay. Antifa Andy has been physically removed. Perhaps create a higher pay tier with super duper deplorable. That's a good idea as well. You know what could be an interesting idea? If I do the gaming thing with the highest, like, super deplorable tier and we all hang out, and then I also kind of like draw from a hat to see people from the $20, to include some people from the $20 tier. Wow, I'm out of breath from going upstairs. Sad. Not high energy, but yeah, I think like pulling names from a hat or something so that a few people from the $20 tier could come out and hang out as well. That could be a cool idea. New dog and he already has a nickname, yeah. I join a higher tier. I'm happy to contribute to help what you're doing. Yeah, and of course I'm always happy to create rewards for higher tiers. I'm not just gonna be like, give me your stuff. Obviously, there will be more rewards if I create higher tiers and I'll put more time into it. It's always difficult. I can't do the gaming stuff when I'm traveling though, so there'll have to be very specific dates for the gaming stuff because worst internet in the world at every hotel, just the worst. If I'm in America, the internet is great. I can do that. Maybe when I get my better laptop too, it'll be easier to do a gaming stream with you guys. I thought you worked out, Lauren. I try. It's weird because I can't work out because I'm traveling so much right now, but at the same time, like I feel like I'm working out when I'm running in all these riots and everything and running away from no-go zones, but it's not quite the same, I guess. Was looking at your waiting picture. If you go to another riot, you should get a full face gas mask, prevent the pepper spray in the eyes, but get it brand new. I could do that. I feel like they look weird, the full face ones. Like, are you talking like I'd look like I was from like one of those nuclear warning videos from the 50s. I've got an extra kind of gas mask. It's a face mask that's just like the one that the bikers usually wear with two of the small little breathing things. I've got one of those as well. But I kind of like the separate goggles and gas mask because sometimes I just need the goggles and don't need the gas mask because I'm just worried about things hitting me in the eyes. So I like being able to not have both on. Picking up more stuff, obviously. You and Mr. Meadowcur are my Patreon staples. That warms my heart to know that people who support Meadowcur are supporting me too. Warms my heart to be put in the same category as him. He's so entertaining. That's another reason why you should get a PC over a Mac. I didn't read the reason. Because of Mr. Meadowcur? Army Surplus. Yeah, Army Surplus first is actually where I get a lot of my stuff. Like, they're great. They're great. That I wear at an Army Surplus store. Is Skyrim your favorite game since you had the Dovahkiin helmet, or just one of your faves? It's just one of my favorites. I really enjoyed Skyrim. It was a great way to waste time when I was in university. Full face gas filter is best. Yeah, for sure. Traveling is always hard though. I like being able to take the pieces apart and everything and travel easily with the masks. 21st, you'll want a more powerful computer for gaming streams. Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow I'll be looking at computers. Wouldn't a good prize for higher tiers be a follow on Twitter? I don't know. I'll go follow you on Twitter right now. You're already in the $40 tier. That's pretty awesome. You don't play Skyrim, you live Skyrim. Yeah. It was certainly saying goodbye to my life for a few weeks. Put your Twitter in here, Callum, and I'll follow you. I think I've seen you on Twitter a few times before. Antifa rally in Houston on June 10th. Any interest in covering? Big move on the left to tear down. Yes, I was thinking of going to that. That's so funny. I screenshotted a Twitter post I saw about that rally, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to go to that. Possibly. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm really interested in showing up because those statue protests have been really interesting. How many consoles? I have a Wii U, and I used to have an Xbox, but rest in peace, it got kicked or something, and the disc reader stopped working. OMG, follow me. Okay, Bethune Sensei? Okay, I'll follow you. You're not even following me, though. You want me to follow you and you're not following me? You're donating to my Patreon and you're not following me on Twitter? Leave this. I feel so betrayed. Renegade of Funk. I'm now following you and you aren't following me. You better follow back or I'm gonna be... Look, Orange Juiced Deft Airshot at least follows me. He's a top lad. Look at that smug face. Absolutely unacceptable. All right, SG Belmont. Sorry, I'm just following people right now. Like, Graham follows me. So offended right now. I'm just Sundray. I follow on Facebook. I don't have a Twitter. Yeah, I've got two Facebook accounts going right now. I'm trying to decide which one to main because I've got like I like my personal Facebook because I'll just be like talking to friends on there or whatever, or like checking out some of my meme pages and then I can just quickly post. But then I've also got like the more serious professional one, which is still just me shit posting, but in a more professional way. And it's always a struggle to decide which one to commit to. Another bro following me would be nice. Ed Derulo. All right. I'm gonna have to unfollow some people because I've got this thing where I'm trying to stay under 1,000 people. 1,000 people, because then people, I don't know, like all the big accounts, like Ben Shapiro and Ann Coulter and everyone, they only follow like 500 people. So then I'm like, oh, awkward. Yeah, 994. So I have 6 spots left for following. Stay under my number. Just got here. Hello, Lauren. Hey, Clay. I'm following everyone on Twitter. What's your Twitter? I haven't been on Bookface in at least a year. What do you guys think of Mark Zuckerberg running for president? I'm curious. Okay. So you just are worried about your company seeing what you post on Twitter. That's fine then. I'm still following me, but Clay Volk. Okay, got it. Ben Shapiro is a complete jackass. He's very smart though. I disagree with him on a decent amount of things, but I can't deny his wit. All right, and followed. Hug thumbs down. What are you thumbs downing about? 6 marbles? Oh, for Zuckerberg. Yeah, no, 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 no. New face filters on Instagram today. The scary part about it, though, is like if Zuckerberg ran for president, the place where the majority of young people get their news from is his website. So he could legitimately indoctrinate the entire populace into voting for him, and he could indoctrinate them into all supporting every single policy he supports. He has them by the metaphorical balls. Like it's really, really scary. And he's probably, oh my goodness, he's probably using Facebook to indoctrinate them all right now so that he wins the next election. It's just been slow indoctrination and we all just can't see it because he probably keeps it off pages like mine. Think about it, if he plans on running for president, he's definitely slowly including indoctrination for all of his voters. Who would you go gay for? Shoe on Head or Brittany Pettibone? Andrew. I'm a man. This is the thing. So like, who would I go gay for? I'd have to look at the male YouTubers. He's an open borders globalist, but of course only for plebs. He's an elite, so he gets an island with walls and security. That's always the thing. That's Paul Watson did the best video on that with his step up or shut the F up or whatever, where he was asking all these celebrities to invite refugees into all their mansions. They'll always be going back to their gated communities at the end of the day, and it's sad. It's sad. Are starting to change their opinions though, because they're realizing they don't have gated communities away from these crazy SJWs, so they may not change their opinions on mass migration, but they're certainly changing on this SJWism because it's impacting them, which is kind of sad because it's like when it was men being falsely accused of rape, they didn't care. When it was video companies being unfairly shut down, they didn't care. When it was comedians being charged hundreds of thousands of dollars for making jokes, or people going to jail for tweets, they didn't care about all these people's lives and all of the harm it was doing to these innocent people. But now that it's impacting them, now that they're being kicked off campus for being a white man, oh, now it's a big issue. So as much as this guy at that college that is standing up is just like, really? Now you're standing up? Now that it's impacting you, you care about how social justice has been negatively affecting the world? So I'm a little mad, but at least it's happening. Facebook was blocking Daily Wire the other day. I'm not surprised. I'm just, that doesn't surprise me anymore. I mean, we saw them manipulating what was in the trending section, and actually that's the first time I got in Daily Mail was when they did a story, because I called them out for blocking a conservative page. I was like, it's wrong that Facebook is blocking this conservative page for criticizing Islam, and then they blocked me and deleted my post for saying that. You can look it up if you look up Lauren Southern blocked on Facebook. They literally blocked me for saying conservatives should stop being blocked on Facebook. And I got my account suspended and everything. I used to get it suspended like once a month. It was like a regular thing that happened to me. And then, oh, suddenly Drudge Report and Daily Mail and all these different sites report how I was blocked on Facebook. And then Facebook like contacted me and apologized personally. And now I don't get blocked anymore. But the crappy part is, get reported on by the Daily Mail, so they just have to suck it up. And the only reason I'm not getting blocked anymore is because it got big reporting, so it's infuriating. That's a big part of the problem. So many people won't do anything until it impacts them personally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to like go and see these places on the ground and see what it's like in these suburbs of Paris, see what it's like being the people living there, because it's like I can't fully understand. I'll live a very selfish and just a self-centered life if I just sit here and just deal with my own problems all the time and say, oh, terrorism isn't a problem because in my small town in BC I don't see things being blown up. No, that's not how it freaking works, people. Grr. How proud are your parents of you? My parents they're wonderfully supportive. They think I'm a little crazy. They're like, Lauren, stop getting yourself in trouble. You're going to get yourself hurt. Obviously just normal parent stuff. They've always been great. But yeah, no, they appreciate what I do. Do you realize that in 2008 or 2028, it will be the first election cycle in the US where we can have a president who will have had Twitter since they were 13? Oh, Gee, that's really, I didn't want to think about that. That's a really, really scary thought. Oh boy. It's gonna be, this is the thing. I always think about like 10, 20, 30 years from now, and how I'm either going to get to say like we won or I told you so. And I really don't want to have to say I told you so, but I have a feeling we're going to get to the point where I have to say I told you so. And it's really upsetting. Derive any joy from it, saying I told you so, to Paris becoming an Islamic uh, city, to showing even more terrorism, to showing even more economic failure and collapse. It's just going to be a very, very, hey, but at least I was right, you know? Not going to get much joy from that. I saw the Sicily video. Don't tell us you're not a little crazy. Just a little. I'm just passionate about the things I believe in, and I'm actually willing. Like, I could sit in front of the posters I have. Like I said, I used to have normal posters back here. They just fell down. But I could sit in front of this wall and do videos all day, getting enraged about all of the migrants coming in on the boats. Or I could actually go out there and help Generation Identity fundraise to stop it if I genuinely believe. And this was something that was upsetting for me. Was I went and I did this, and I saw some people who go out and they complain about the massive boats coming in all the time. They say this is killing the West, and then they were mad at me. They were like, yeah, it's a big problem and it's causing terrorism, but that was kind of crazy of you to go out on this boat and try to stop it. And it's like, what? Do you not think this is a real problem? Like, what? Like, okay, so you want to complain about it all day so that you get clicks and views, but you don't actually want to stop it, is what I'm hearing, right? So you've got a lot of people that are comfortable losing. I think there are a lot of conservatives that are really comfortable with losing because they see that as beneficial, because they get to be seen as the victim. They get more to make videos about. They get more to talk about. So they're just comfortable losing. I'm not comfortable losing. I'd be happy if I didn't have to talk about politics, and I could just do a different job, get married, be mediocre, and have kids and live a happy, normal life. But I know that the life that when my kids are born, they're going to have to grow up in this world that I've left behind. And right now is not the time. It's not the good times in the age of, or it is the good times declining into the bad times. But it's in the course of empire, we are not headed to the good times, we're headed to the bad times, and I don't want them to have to live through that. So I'm going to fight for a better world so that the children I have can enjoy it. I don't know. What is the deal with fidget spinners? How is this shit popular? It was an ADHD thing. You are so right, Caleb. I bought one of those when I was in London, and I couldn't have any normal conversations because I was just sitting there like, hello, hi, how's it going? And I was just looking like a total autist. So I bought these instead. They're like flavored toothpicks that have like mint, and they kind of distract me because I have pretty bad, I allegedly, according to the doctors, have ADHD. Did you notice? So I like to just have something to fidget with. Those little square things that you can do the little clicky and spinny things with, those are helpful as well. I think it's insane that 100 years ago, people were willing to kill and die over something almost pointless, but now it's the complete inverse, where we are so altruistic, we are destroying our society. Right? You had Americans rioting over a 3% tax. That was so cool. If anyone mentioned rioting over a tax today, people would be like, what's wrong with you? But they were like, no, this is wrong. We need representation with taxation, right? And this is the thing. You look back at the ancestors that created you. Obviously, my family, they fought and they died. They fought bloody wars, were sliced to bits and bled into the soil just so that they could protect their homeland, so that my great-grandmother could give birth to another one of my ancestors, and then another one and another one. All of them fought and died and bled and gave everything they could to create me so that I could exist one day. They passed down knowledge of ages. They cried, they wept, they lost family members, they traveled the world, they fought wars. Also, I could exist one day. And what am I going to respect them with? Just sitting here complacently doing nothing? Respect them with doing the best I can with my life, and then passing that on and creating more life as well. And I want to live a fulfilling life. And it's just so, I think it's so disrespectful for people to just become so nihilistic and not care anymore and not care about the world that they inherited or passing on their genes when so many people have put in so much effort to create their existence. It's just a very, very sad thing to me. What have we become? Yeah, exactly. Riding, they effing shot them. Yeah, you're right. Why I want to join YouTube and try to get influence and to sway some small portion of public opinion. Yeah, and YouTube isn't the only way to do that. It's just the way I found that worked for me. Of course, you can get into I talked about this in my speech that I did at Berkeley, where I think we need more civil servants that are kind of right wing, because all the people that are running these universities and are shutting down free speech, they're just working in civil servant positions and they're having a huge impact on society. In everything we do, we can try to change the world in simply the relationships we have. I have friends of mine that they don't really do YouTube videos or anything, but what they do is they do couch surfing. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's basically when people are traveling, they have an app and they just for people who have couch surfing houses, and they can stay for free on their couch, and basically they just hang out, and that's the whole thing. So they do couch surfing every week and let someone stay in the guest room, and then they red pill them. Every day they have a new person or the same person staying for a week, and they red pill that person. And that's one way. Like, they don't do YouTube videos. There are so many different ways to change the world in everything you do. Civilization is a team sport. The Muslims haven't forgotten this. But yeah, no kidding. And they say they talk about it that way too. If you listen to some of the videos, especially from the the floodgates are open video, you have one Muslim man saying, well, the only way Europeans are going to defeat us is if they maybe have 5, 6, 7 kids and start working as a collective group. Other than that, we've won. And they know that, and they're talking about it in terms as if it's an invasion, and we just won't acknowledge it that way for some reason. I really would like to run, but it seems like the best way to most effectively change opinions and sway cultures through media, and for young people, it's YouTube. If you want to run for office, do that, totally. Unfortunately, people have to be more careful with their opinions when they run for office. Like, I've spoken to people that are running for politics, and they're like more red-pilled in private than they will say publicly, and they kind of cuck out a little bit for the public. But that has a lot of influence as well. I mean, your vote in parliament and senate and these kind of things does impact the future of the country. Different ways to influence and help change society. Oh. Tyler Durden had it right. We have no great physical war like our grandfathers. Ours was a spiritual war. Yeah. Hard times create hard people create soft times create soft people create hard times. It's the course of empire. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Thomas, Course of Empire by Thomas Cole. Beautiful paintings if you look them up. Like the creation of the empire. It's that exact sentence, except in paintings, and they're just gorgeous. I've been meaning to put actually I had one of them on this wall at one point. Here it is. It's this one is the decline of empire, the destruction of empire. Thomas Cole's paintings. Pilling is a great idea. Couch pilling, that's such a great term. Curious if my internet is really bad, or if you are commenting comment after comment. At which time exactly are you answering a line in? Your internet might be bad. I didn't really understand that sentence, that question. But yeah, I'm basically reading people's comments and then just replying whenever, and then going on tangents. There's no real structure to this live stream yet. It's just kind of the after hours shitposting hangout session. Confirmed Lauren needs to upgrade her 28.8K modem. Hit potatoes out every few moments. Is it glitching? Is my internet bad right now? It should be good. I'm sorry if it's glitching out, guys. You didn't follow me on Twitter. Okay. Yes, I've been following everyone that's been saying to follow. Also, let me know, everyone, how is the internet going? It was supposed to be better this round. Sorry, it's glitching out. That's really weird. Was it glitching in the last stream? It's good? Okay. Well, at least Patrick has great internet. Maybe you guys all just have trash internet. Kind of have momentary spurs of slowdown. There, Renegade Funk and Patrick know how to set up their modems. Everyone else, your internet router is in Mexico and it's just a potato with some wires in it. You also have a potato router in Mexico with wires in it. Everyone, it's all your internet. I take no responsibility for this. I tried really hard to have good internet this time round, and I will not let you take this away from me. Fantastic. Bit rate reduces every 5 minutes or so. I used to believe that I have bad internet again. It was so bad the first stream. That one was just the worst internet, and I keep trying to improve it. But would you ever travel to Syria, Iraq, or Afghanistan if you had the chance? I've thought about it, and I've been given kind of opportunities and had people offer it, but obviously a little nervous to do that, and I'd need to really have some good stringers and set up a really strong trip if I were to go there. And I'd like to get myself a little more established with video editors and everything. Over the next little bit, I'll be more established, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year I do go somewhere like that to report. But very careful and have the proper people and contacts set up if I were going to do that. I may be crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Would you thoughts on Trump so far? Obviously, any criticisms I have of Trump doesn't mean I'd prefer Hillary. I think he's significantly better than Hillary and was a massive example for a win in the culture war. But he's certainly disappointed in some categories, cucking out on Saudi Arabia, touching the orb, touched the orb. I just saw that in private, the U.S. government has just decided to accept more refugees, which was a little upsetting. Arms deal. So there are certainly criticisms I have of him, and I've been thinking of making a video on some of my criticisms because I don't want to be like the Obama cult who just loved Obama but sat there and never criticized the thing he did, even when it was the complete opposite of what they voted for. I certainly do prefer Trump and think he's a wonderful thing for America and a lot better than a lot of the other politicians, but that doesn't mean I don't have massive criticisms of him and things that I think he could do better. Really disappoints me as well. It's I thought his big thing was that he was going to stand up to them, but I was wrong. I guess too much money. So, group question. For the culture war, is it better to try to work on taking over the cable networks or to focus on moving the internet channels? Well, this is the thing. The cable networks are all I answer. Of course, people in the chat can answer as well. People on the cable networks are failing, and they're wondering what the internet is doing right. And I think the thing is, we're winning the internet because we're telling the truth, and we're the ones that are actually portraying things as they're happening, and we aren't. When we say something, it's not going through 20 layers of bureaucracy until we get the perfect script of what we have to say to the public. It's genuine, and that's why YouTube has been so successful, because people love how genuine the people are on it. I'm sitting just with chewing on some random sticks here and drinking my blueberry sparkling water, talking to you guys on a super genuine level. You wouldn't get this with a CNN or a Fox anchor, and that's why YouTube is succeeding. So I think taking over the internet is one of the best things we can do, and we already have so much momentum with it. We're already winning. Can't stop winning. We already have 4chan, and we have the memes of production right now. So I think we just keep doing what we're doing, and of course, doesn't mean don't try to expand into other categories, but when it comes to internet versus cable, gotta say the internet is the way to go. I told someone this, the media wouldn't report on shit with Hillary, but they hate Trump, so everything, oh, I just got a billion questions. But they hate Trump, so everything he does, including how many ice cream scoops they report on. Yeah, and it's so stupid because it's like you can't. There are legitimate criticisms of Trump, but when you're reporting on him having 2 ice cream scoops instead of 1, makes it a little hard to focus on the real criticism, and it pisses me off so much. That was the same thing through the entire election cycle. They were just talking about how he's Nazi, fascist Trump, sexist Trump, and it's like, that's not an argument, as Molyneux would say. If they just focused on legitimate criticisms of him, Trump may not have won the election, but they decided to go full autismo and just call him a racist, sexist, and do fake news all day. So now we're still stuck with this stupid mainstream media criticizing his ice cream, and we're not getting the proper criticism out there about Saudi Arabia. Imagine everyone, including the mainstream media, just held our presidents accountable on the things they deserve to be criticized on, how much different politics would be. If they just sat there all day and just talked about Saudi Arabia all day, they'd be forced to address that instead of ice cream scoops. Everyone remember that CNN segment where the anchor was demonstrating how to eat chicken with a knife and a fork? I've seen video of that, and I wasn't sure if it was just a meme or not, but I guess you can't tell with CNN these days. If you have cable, you are literally paying Rachel Maddow's salary. Yeah, no kidding. Why I have cable. I've watched maybe 6 hours in the last year, and 5 of them were the U.S. election. Yeah, that's the thing too, though, because like I would have cable to watch like political debates, and I'd have it to watch like when politicians would come on for interviews. But now, like every time there's a political debate, it's live streamed everywhere on YouTube and Facebook, whatever, wherever you want it. It's just a Google search away. So there's no point in having cable. You can even watch. You can even watch cable shows on your computer now. It's all dying. I hear in the UK they force you, if you have a TV, to pay like a massive tax. Everyone has to pay the BBC there if you have a TV, and they come to your house and will literally search for TVs in your house. So it's awesome that people have computers now and can defeat that being forced to pay mainstream networks. It ended up being it ended up being guys like Steven Crowder and Shapiro to actually bring up criticisms of Trump. It was difficult. Yeah, that's the thing. When Crowder criticizes Trump, I actually listen because I know Crowder isn't just screaming sexist all day long, so I can actually be like, oh, legitimate criticism. It's much. I take it way more seriously when I hear criticisms from Crowder. Keep in mind, CNN has bought Casey. Cable is expanding into interwebs. Don't underestimate the hold they might have if they play that card correctly. Yeah, acted by places that own the Huffington Post and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, do you wanna be on our network? Do you wanna get your paycheck from us?" And I'm like, "No." Want to. So like, it's not like I don't get contacted by mainstream media as well. I do. And I've been asked to go on so many mainstream like shows and do shows with them, and I just am like, sorry, don't care. In the UK, you watch Big Brother, yeah. Yeah, that's also the case. In addition to being too expensive, I couldn't in good conscience know I was indirectly supporting most of the left mainstream media with my money. Like I said, it's just you have your computer, so there's no point. There's just no point. Talking about networks with infinite money, they'll figure out the internet thing at some point. They're working on it for sure. The problem is creating people that are genuine. It's very hard to create people that are genuine. They can't, like, how do you give someone the teleprompter script to have an honest conversation? How do you give someone, I guess they'll have to start hiring actors to be their new political YouTubers. I think it's going to be difficult because I think people are good at reading. People are really good at reading personalities online and on YouTube, I think. And they can tell when someone's being genuine. That's why Hillary failed so bad, because she'd be like, whenever she tried to do something emotional, you could tell she wasn't being genuine. And I've spoken to people that actually knew Hillary, and I was speaking to someone who was on the different press corps for all of the different politicians, and he was a more liberal guy, but he's like the nicest person out of this entire election that I worked for. Trump, one of the nicest guys. Jeb Bush, one of the nicest guys, actually. And he said Jeb Bush was extremely high energy, and he would make all of the reporters run up the stairs with him every day. They would come to the office, and then he's like, Hillary, I'm a left-wing guy, but she had no soul. She was a horrible, horrible, horrible person. And people from the outside, they can tell that. I never hated Jeb Bush. I just thought he was really silly and ridiculous. But I could tell deep down that he was a nice, sweet guy. Trump, you could tell he's a nice guy in person. And no matter how hard she tried to act, you could read it on her. You could smell it on her that she is like a horrible person. And I had that corroborated by people who were working on their press corps. So it's going to be hard for the mainstream media to compete with YouTube, because they're going to have to find people who can pretend to be genuine to spout their narrative, and hope that people are too good at reading that BS on YouTube to fall for it. Jeb is just really awkward. I feel kind of bad for him. Yeah, that's his problem, is he's actually just an awkward guy, so it was difficult for him to do the politics thing. Lauren, please let me know if you're hitting the Antifa thing in Houston. I'm part of the crowd guarding statue, and the cops will actually be providing real Texas protection. I will, yeah, I'll most likely, I'd say there's a 90% chance that I'll be there. And crazy comes up and I have to go to that. Ooh, actually, make that a 70% chance, because okay, I'm sorry, I've got a trip planned for June already that I'm going to go report, not a vacation, a reporting thing. And I could leave because I really do want to come to that statue event. Of course, all of you guys have probably seen my video on the statues. They're taking down statues all across America, just trying to erase history everywhere. So there's another protest going on. So do you guys only watch Netflix, Hulu shows? Where do you go for your entertainment? I watch a lot of mine on Netflix, personally. I've been watching Parks and Rec relentlessly the last little bit. It's such a fun show. Hillary does seem so cold and soulless. Yeah, and apparently she's like that in person. I mean, I don't know how you can lie to people that easily and that consistently and not. And like the idea of soullessness is just like shutting out all feelings of empathy and morality and goodness, and just exchanging it for material gain. And that's exactly what she did with her life. I mean, she knowingly lies to people. She's happy to be married to Bill, someone who is a relentless cheater, just so that she can have that political power and political gain from that relationship. No one who puts things like decency and goodness and empathy important aspect of their life could do what Hillary did. So wanting someone like that leading your country, no thank you. I really like the show Fargo. It's great. I haven't watched Fargo. I'll have to check it out. Black Mirror has been really fun to watch. So they're kind of paused out there. They've kind of gone a little bit of shit lib lately, but the concepts behind it are really cool. Everyone's just talking about Netflix now. Watching right now. We've got someone watching Fargo. Maybe I lagged out. I don't know. Watched it. It's basically all about the influence of social media in people's lives, and like they go like to like really crazy extremes with worlds where their entire life is based on the rating on apps, whether they go to jail or not. They get too low of a rating. Crazy show. So Parks and Rec and such are made by the major network studios. Still better to go to the internet route. Like, sundry. Um, Even if you're sick of zombies, the Korean movie Train to Busan is great. 28.8K modem confirmed. Drop your dankest memes on us. I'll shitpost some memes in the Facebook group for sure. Gotta cook dinner. Love you all. Bye, Patrick. Thank you for coming out. It was a pleasure to have you. I hope dinner is amazing. Better Call Saul. People keep telling me that is really good, so I'll check it out. Again, ever been to Japan? No, I have not been to Japan, but I would love to go to Japan. I really want to go to the onsens there. I liked about Westworld. Oh, I loved Westworld. It was so good. I like the shows that try to tackle these bigger topics of like the meaning of life and like singularity theory and like just this idea of, does life have meaning if we're all just programmed? Because there's a lot of people that truly believe that instead of nurture, like everything we do, we don't have free will because it's just what type of genes you have. You were programmed as a woman to want to have kids. You were programmed to pursue this kind of job, programmed to pursue this kind of relationship, and none of it is free will. So what is the meaning of life if you're like these characters from Westworld who are just programmed texts and scripts, and they're just programmed to feel sad when they find out they're just a programmed text and script? So it's like, it's a very fascinating topic that they're trying to tackle there, and it creeps me out watching it, but I like that. I like when it makes me think about these bigger themes in life, because I'm totally like that. I'll sit down at like 5 a.m. and I'll just be like staring at the ceiling and thinking about all of these like massive themes of existence and reality and what it all means. And I'm gonna go insane if I think about it too much. Do you ever plan on getting married and having children? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, after having read the statistics on happiness and how it affects marriage, and having children affects people's sense of meaning and sense of deep happiness in life, I would be very foolish not to do that, I think. And also I'm of the mindset that you don't really live a full life unless you've buried those who created you, and then get buried by those you've created. I mean, continuing on the line of your existence, thousands and thousands and thousands of people died, bled, and just put in their heart and soul into making you possible, and to service them by ending that line because of some sort of weird selfish decision that I just want to buy an apartment and drink wine and be an internet personality for the rest of my life, is just meaningless, I think. That's my opinion, though, and that's why I want to have kids. But of course, if you don't want to have kids, that's entirely up to you. Wow, can't believe how many messages there are considering only 15 people. Yeah, this got really, there got a ton of messages real fast. No one was talking for a minute there, but tons of people now. I'd like to know that too, Mark. Lauren Southern, thoughts on kids? I feel like such an outlier for not wanting them. Oh God, guilted by Lauren Southern for not wanting kids. I'm guilted by all the people that put effort into creating me and all the statistics on happiness. That's why I want to have kids. I'm not trying to guilt anyone. I'm just saying like that's one of the things. I don't think we should necessarily be like guilting or forcing people. It's just like, hey, genuinely, this is what statistics say make you happy. This is what statistics say will make you have a better life. And I have my own reasons for, like I explained earlier, for why I want to have kids, but I just think there's a lot of meaning to it. Oh, I'm very sorry about your public relations class, Lord Belmont. But I don't think you'll find too many classes in modern university that aren't infested with people like that. I definitely want to have kids, but I'm having a very hard time finding a woman I respect when I live in Colorado. I was maybe finding one girl a year or so. Yeah, it's not easy for me either. It's hard to find people who want as you or like I'm a bit of a weirdo, so it's difficult. Sure, I'm sure you guys have all of the same kind of problems where it's like talking about less superficial things. Most people want to talk about more superficial things, and I just can't keep up with conversations like that. Also, if you bring up things like you want to get married and have kids one day, people get really scared because they're like, "Oh, I didn't want to get into a relationship with thoughts of marriage or anything." So that intimidates a lot of guys. I want kids, but I'm biologically male, so kind of hard to make that decision myself. Fair enough, Michael. Yeah, no, I don't blame guys for it being difficult to find wives now. Two of my friends that are probably some of the most traditional dudes I know, they were one of the people that really red pilled me on the ideas of like relationships. They sent me tons of statistics on this stuff a while back. They can't find girlfriends at all because it's just like so difficult to find women that want to have traditional lifestyle who want to get married and have traditional lifestyles right now. Well, we have to guilt people into wanting kids. Society becomes worse when people stop having children, at least politicians supporting mass immigration among with other problems. Yeah, and one of the big problems too is a lot of people who shouldn't have kids as well. And like people that are like really smart in these kind of categories are like, oh, I'm not going to have kids because I can't afford it right now. And that's just the financially smart thing for me to do. So they tend to be like a clever individual, just not with a lot of moral compass to have kids. And these people that are like total SJWs or whatever are like, I'm going to go on welfare and have 10 kids and then teach my kids that socialism is great, right? So you're creating a generation of young kids that are being raised by single mothers and welfare queens and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's also an obligation for smart people to have children and pass their genes on so that the world isn't completely destroyed. Most people want to talk small talk. Yeah. It's actually difficult to find normal people to relate to here. You can just tell if someone is from here or not. My last girlfriend broke up with me because I wanted a serious relationship, and she said that a serious relationship freaks her out. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's a real shame. Yeah, but that's the same problem. Like that's why you kind of have to find that out within the first kind of few weeks of dating, whether they're in it for because they want a serious future or not. Because otherwise, you'll find yourself waiting waste a year or something, and then you've wasted a year of your and they wouldn't want a serious relationship at any point, so what's the point of staying in it? And then you've wasted a year potentially finding a serious partner who does want that. So you gotta kind of weed out the people who want serious relationships or not within the first at least week or two. It can be weird. Of course, you don't approach it like, hey, do you want to have babies? You approach it and like, so what do you want out of this, right? Especially people ask if you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend, or something. Pride Toronto kicking out Toronto police. Your thoughts? Obviously, it's the silliest thing ever. It's kind of like when I went to a Vancouver rally for Black Lives Matter, and they were all protesting the police the entire time. Like, the police suck. We hate the police. They're racist, sexist, KKK. They did the whole chant. And then I come in there, and I literally, I didn't even say anything to them. They ran up to me and started screaming at me because they recognized me from the internet. And then I got into a debate with them. And then they asked the police to physically remove me from the premises for my opinion. So I'm like, wait. You guys are protesting the police, calling them racist, sexist, KKK. And then when someone with a different opinion shows up to your little shindig here, you run to the police and say it's their job to protect you. They have no obligation to protect you guys when you're out there slandering them. Same with Pride. They're going to have the police protecting them in Toronto, making sure none of them get hurt, blocking off the roads so they can ruin traffic for their little event. And then they're just going to shame them and not let them participate. It's the most entitled BS thing I've ever seen. Oh wow, your girl left you and she was 27 saying she was scared of serious relationships. That's not good. She's like you're 31, so you're actually at your prime as a male. Men tend to peak at around 31 for when it comes to marriage material. And women tend to peak at around 21, 22, 23 for marriage material and dating. So she's not too clever of her to not be into serious relationships at that age. Lauren, if you want to marry a good Catholic woman, Faith is obviously the one. Grab her before another man steals her. Faith has a lovely man in her life, so unfortunately, this dude can't swoop in and steal your girl. Concerning Antifa, what is the difference between fascism and communism? I get the sense that these two ideologies are more similar than different. They're actually mortal enemies. Like the reason that they are like Antifa came out of the ground, as much as I hate Antifa, they came out of the ground to oppose fascism. And this is why a lot of how do I explain this? But the two ideologies are like complete mortal enemies historically, and that's why they really, really opposed each other during the war, and they existed entirely. Even in history, you had like Antifa, their whole thing is just to attack fascism. But how do I explain it? Right. So the whole reason they're complete separate is fascism believes in the idea of hierarchy. So they believe that you should have kind of elders and higher figures in society that the rest of society respects, and that there's a natural hierarchy of people that should be kind of the peasant class and people that should be kind of the lord class and the king class and the religious leader class. They believe that that is the most important fundamental part to a society. And in like serious fascist writing, it's obviously it plays out in a kind of horrible way in a lot of cases, but in serious fascist writing, the idea is you're going to have people that are less capable and more capable, and they should be pulling each other up and leading each other and helping each other. Whereas in communism, the whole idea of a hierarchy is oppression. So they need to destroy the entire hierarchy, and there should be no one smarter, better, or more experienced at anything or more respected than anyone. That's all oppression. We need to destroy any idea of hierarchy or order in society in order to be truly liberated. So we need to take away the people who own the businesses. We need to take away the political leaders, destroy all of that, and then live as all complete equals. So they're actually like complete opposite systems of running society. Yeah, they're both authoritarian, which is where they do have the crossover, but like the systems are just complete opposites. Oh, did Renegade leave? Goodbye, Renegade. I feel like I'm losing time at 39. You're still, Scott, you'll still be fine. But definitely get yourself out there. You should definitely not be waiting any longer, but you'll be fine. A woman at 39, it's pretty difficult for her to get back in the dating market and try to date, but 39, you'll be fine. Lauren Southern, merch, shirts, and flags sound amazing though, for real. I'll work on that, I will. My mother found a very decent dude at 46. They both have kids already though. Good for her. That's awesome. If she would be the exception in most cases, but good for her. That's really awesome that she found someone to be happy with. What do you think of Syrian girl, partisan girl? She's really nice. I've had a few private conversations with her. She's like, the thing is, she just wants what's best for the Syrian people, and she doesn't support the refugee crisis or anything, or because she, like, I've spoken to her and she's like, I'm Syrian. I love my people, but I recognize this is an invasion of Western land, and I don't want that to happen or your culture to change. And I also recognize that they're not even helping the Syrian people; they're helping migrants, and then the Syrians are getting this bullcrap put on them. People are thinking all the Syrians are causing all this crime when it's not even them. It's a lot of just random guys from Libya, North Africa, all of these migrants from all these other countries that aren't Syria, and people are playing it off as if they're helping the Syrian people. So she's very logical, and I really like the stuff that she does personally. What's going on in the world today is weird. This globalist mindset is sort of, in a weird way, corporate Marxism. Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's it's a lot of crony capitalism that's happening. There are corporations that are in line with government, and they're working together in order to make everyone the same, like in communism, so that they can use them all just as their workers for an eternity. It seems that geographical differences have different kind of women. I live in Kansas City, and most of my female friends in their early 20s are ready for serious relationships. Oh yeah, totally. Well, it's always the culture. Like if you go to California, you're not going to find a traditional woman very fast, right? But if you go to like Texas, you're way more likely to find traditional women. Obviously not certain areas of Texas, but the cities really do matter. And obviously the political influence there, the religious influence, of course, affects it as well. Ages. Caleb, that is unfair because not all of you have photos. So I will lose that game. But Caleb, and your photo is really small. It's like, I can't see you at all. And how you guys hate me if I guess wrong. What's your take on these theaters having women-only screenings of Wonder Woman? I think that guy who said that he's going to go anyways and they can't stop him for his gender is an absolute hero. Not all heroes wear capes, and I'm really excited. I hope he wears a body cam of some sort when he goes in there, because I'm really excited to see what happens. But I mean, I think it should be allowed. I think, but at the same time, the problem is like it's yes, I think you should be allowed to do your whole like women only thing, but the issue I have is they wouldn't allow a men only thing. They would lose their shit, so I don't mind people challenging it. That's what it is. I knew there was something that pissed me off a little bit about it, but it's like I think there should be men's only gyms. I think there should be women only gyms, but when people think they can only have their big feminist gathering and they can't have their big men gathering, yeah, I like people going in and throwing a in their little feminist party. I'm Aaron on Discord. You can guess from that. Let me see. I can't really open, with my terrible internet, it's hard to open a bunch of different tabs here. No, I'm not going to play this age guessing game. I was tempted to for a second there, but I'm not going to get in trouble and guess your ages wrong and have you guys get mad at me. That I argued with coworkers on the day of the Manchester bombing about Islam, but I forgot to mention I shared your no-go zone story time with them as well. That's cool. Yeah, just that's the whole goal, is to have you guys enjoy my videos and love my stories, and then also to red pill the normies. What do you think the portrayal of Wonder Woman being some kind of heroine for women, even though she's been around for a long time? I'd have to watch the movie. I don't know what kind of propaganda they have in there. They could have no propaganda in there. I'd have to see what's in it. I just know that feminists are mad she doesn't have armpit hair. I saw that was an article this morning, and I was just a little shocked. We have people like being bombed around the world. We have people starving to death. And you know what we're going to argue about today? Wonder Woman in a movie doesn't have armpit hair. That's the problem we're going to argue about. Original Serious Strikes video you did. You only have the second edit uploaded. I actually only uploaded one of them. I don't have a second edit of it. 3 of them on the fence actually seemed... I just changed the name of the video is what I did. 3 of them on the fence actually seemed swayed, so that was great. But the 2 that feel when 2 intelligent atheists still think Islam is a religion of peace. I don't get that, because you have atheists that do that, with the religion of peace thing, but then you have atheists that are like hardcore against it as well because they're like, oh, it's a religion, so it's bad, right? I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe show them some of the atheists that feel into intelligent YouTubers that are anti-Islam. That could help. There are a few of them out there. Sorry, I'm just checking. It's just I have to end the stream soon, unfortunately. So get your last questions in, guys. I'll try to answer them all. Sorry, but who is having sex with these 300-pound women who have armpit hair? Won't the problem solve itself in a few generations? That's what I think. It's Darwinism. Plus, a lot of these feminist women think having kids and reproducing is a form of oppression. So at least they'll breed themselves out of existence, and the gene of SJWism will die with their insane ideology. I was part of this atheist Facebook page since about 2008 or 2009. They are boring and constantly bash Christianity, so I started prodding them by bringing up issues about Islam in Europe. They don't believe me about the influx of migrants, and they keep thinking I'm a bigot. Just show them, look up the German intelligence just said there's 6 to 7 million migrants waiting on the borders of Turkey and Libya just to come into Europe over the summer. Like that's not made up stuff. That is the German intelligence saying this. So if they're that feel when too intelligent, they should be able to accept facts, especially from their god, the government. And Skeptic are my go-to examples. Yeah, they're good. Do you feel you've changed over the last 2 years? Absolutely. Seeing things on the ground obviously changes a lot about you. Traveling and understanding what's going on. You asked me 2 years ago, I was skeptical about the idea of no-go zones until I decided to go there myself. Changed over the last few years. And on local elections, I believe that's where the real change needs to start. I used to help out with local elections when I was younger, and I was like really into local politics and stuff. And yes, I do think they're important, obviously, and I think that that is definitely part of changing your community first and making sure you have a good community is one of the best things you can do. For me, all of the people that got involved with local elections were just really petty, crazy people. So I had a lot of I didn't function so well in the local election sphere. And if you go into it and you're a not crazy person, I wish you luck trying to maneuver through that. You'll find the business of local politics can get even dirtier than big politics just because of the type of people that go into it. So I wish you luck if you want to work in there. And you are a noble soldier for truth, and I rest in peace. You might lose your sanity working in local elections, but yeah, no, some people definitely have to try to fight for it. I worked with Muslims from Jordanian and Turkish armies and Afghan security forces. They helped me find the violent verses in the Quran. Really interesting. I made an FYI request to CSIS about Islamic extremists in the Toronto area. They told me it would take a few months to process. What? Yeah, I'd be interested to see what CSIS told you. That's crazy. Oh yeah, we might have some terrorists here, but take your time. Just a couple months, no biggie. Mortal Engines. I totally read those books. Yeah, oh yeah, I totally read those books when I was younger. Those are really good. You just followed anything for views? Yeah, no, their whole community is hilarious. I enjoy like iDubbbz videos and stuff on my spare time. Why is it that a large percentage of anti-theists feel the need to single out and attack Christians? I don't get it. I don't get it either. Maybe I think a lot of it is maybe a lot of them grew up in Christian homes and it's like backlash against their parents, and it's not really that they're like edgy atheists. It's like a for them, because like if their parents were Muslim, they'd go against that harder or something. Actually, no, they probably wouldn't because they'd get honor killed. But it's just like these edgy teens that were mad at their parents. Can people still get your book you made while you were with the Rebel? Yeah, you can still get it on You can still get it on Amazon. Ever heard of Extreme Ownership? Heck, no, I haven't. Righteous Indignation by Andrew Breitbart. I got that in the other room. I wish he was still alive too. You know what sucked is I discovered Andrew Breitbart like the week he died. I was binge watching all of his videos, and then he died that week. I was super choked. It was really devastating. Stop making me like you more. They're going to be a movie now. I'm so excited. You know, it's a really good book. Although the author is really cucked. What's the King Killer Chronicles? I can't wait for the next one. Those are really, really phenomenal books. Also, Gentlemen Bastards. I read those recently. Those were fun. Really enjoyed Wheel of Time. I was such a nerd with that kind of stuff. Oh, so bad. I had to stop myself because I would read so many fantasy books, and I'm like, this isn't helpful, Lauren. This isn't useful for expanding your mind. It's like watching a really, really long Netflix show. Experience was a manifesto. Thank you, Callum. I appreciate that. I put a lot of time into it. It's short, which I didn't like, but they asked me for the book to be short, and because they told me like millennials have short attention spans. Lauren, read a short book. It has to be this long, and I was like, but I have so much to say. So I'm gonna have to put all the rest in another book, if you know what I'm saying. Series by Ted Decker. I've read Ted Decker before. What else has he written? Stuff before. I read Ted Decker before. And check out all of his books. I'm 100% positive I've read his books. Mine is Capitalism, the Unknown Ideal. Are you going to read Douglas Murray's new book, The Strange Death of Europe? Absolutely. When I get a chance, I'll pick it up. Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. Should send a copy to Bernie Sanders. A little overtime. I have to go eat dinner. It's getting late here. All right, I'm going to answer one more question that comes up. The Road to Serfdom is a really good book. That's a short book that's super good, actually. I literally went out and I was just tanning on the beach, and I read the whole book while I was tanning. All right. Have a great night, Lord Belmont. It was a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And like I said, the next couple of days, stay tuned, because that big video for the fourth half is going to come out. I apologize for my internets. All right, night night cable. 10 points to Gryffindor. Thanks for the stream, Lauren. Great chat. Awesome. Okay, so no more questions. I may be doing a gaming thing on Tuesday. I'll let you guys know. Then you can actually hang out and we can talk in the chat. It'll be awesome. And yeah, stay tuned for the next couple of days. Sorry, I keep looking back to see if there's a last question, but there's not. So I'm just going to say goodbye and good night.